And the message that I want to leave in this part is a message specifically to those from the corporate sector and from the business and finance sector. And I want to leave you some thoughts on new buzzwords. Has anyone caught the theme yet? Not yet. Okay. Have you caught the theme? Not yet. Oh, and yeah. You got it. Okay, we'll come to you, Shamshad. Okay. The next section I want to highlight for you, and I want us to pay particular attention to the next 3 minutes. The chocolate example that I gave, for those of you who missed it, have you people heard of the fair trade? So if you've got a choice, like Muslims have a choice between halal and haram. Of course, we don't have a choice, right? I mean, it has to be halal, right? But we've got a choice. So the choice between the next chocolate that you buy, as lovely as Top Deck is, go for the fair trade logo, the chocolate with the fair trade logo. And I think there's hardly a dozen or less in South Africa currently that have the fair trade logo. I'll explain the fair trade logo a little bit later to you in 2.5 minutes. So if you've got a choice in the future when you're buying a chocolate, especially for Mother's Day, look for the fair trade logo. And I'll tell you why. There are 4 buzzwords in recent times that have been quite prominent. One of them is called shared value. And I'm talking buzzwords for industry, for corporate and for financial industries. One of them is called shared value, or creating shared value. The other is called impact investing. The third, responsible investing. And it depends which part of the world you are. Sometimes it's called impact investing, sometimes it's called responsible investing. And then the last is social entrepreneurship. Shared value, impact investing, responsible investing, and social entrepreneurship. I put it to you that all 4 of these are different from CSR and CSI. The work that many of you do is CSR and CSI work, community social responsibility, or corporate social responsibility, corporate social investment, really pales in comparison to what the outcome of shared value is, of what impact investing is. So I'll give you an example, Aman, and I'm choosing you as particular. So I'm getting 2 checks on Monday, one from Broadway Suites, because this is advertising, internal advertising, that, you know, there's a term for it, I forget. And the other one is Absa Bank. So I'm going to talk to Absa Bank. And the term that I want to use in your context, Aman, is that all the various financial institutions that exist, by and large, their approach is about ethical investments. Ethical investment is different from impact investing or shared value investing. Ethical investing is about choosing not to get involved in an industry which conflicts with your beliefs. So for example, you will not invest in breweries and the like, because, and I think this is the guest who's trying to get a hold of us, so can you give directions to the guest? You'll edit that out and you'll copy and paste it. Thanks. It's for television, and we'll have to make sure we make a good impression on television. Now, by the way, we've got Top TV and ITV in the hall with us today. So ethical investing, Aman, is about choosing not to work or invest in industries that are conflicting with our value systems. Shared value or impact investing is about purposely going to look for industries that firstly don't conflict with our beliefs, but also have benefits for community. That's a difference. So if you had a choice between two companies, and both of them not playing in the field of interest, as an example, then ethical value, you would choose both. Impact investing, you will say, who brings the greatest benefit to the community? And that greatest benefit is not about CSI and CSR. It's about companies that decide deliberately to do things. And I'll give you one example. Coca-Cola, our favorite drink, well, in some cases, have taken a deliberate decision that they're going to reduce the intake of water, they're going to consume less water in their production cycle. They've set themselves a target of 20% less water usage in the production of the beverage, despite the fact that there's an increase in demand for the Coca-Cola product. And the way they've gone about this is they've invested heavily into technology that converts seawater into drinkable water. It's a unique product out there. And this product, unlike those in the Middle East that require an entire island, this particular invention that's coming to the market is the size of this banner, the EPSA banner. Just so that we can know, maybe the Minara banner. We'll give Minara another 10,000 rand. That is purposeful thinking. I'll give you one more example of the chocolate that I spoke about and the people who buy craft foods. They've taken a deliberate decision that they can go to Africa, to poverty-stricken Africa, and provide whatever they want to provide in getting the cocoa beans, because those poor African farmers got no choice. If we don't sell our cacao, it's going to get rotten and sold and no one is going to take it. We have to take what is given, not craft foods, and not many others. I've got a number of examples, but I'll give you the example of craft foods in particular. So they went into industry, Côte d'Ivoire, etc., to the farmers, and they've helped them with best irrigation systems. They've taught them technology to gauge weather and weather conditions. They've helped them, is our guest in, thank you very much. That table there, wherever you're comfortable. Welcome. As you can see, the guest has not changed colors, or faces rather. We received an official apology from the MEC. She's ill, and she's sent in very kindly a substitute, which we will introduce a bit later. So those of you who came to see the MEC, the door in the back, you can leave with that door in the back. Right. So Kraft Foods have taken a very deliberate decision. They didn't say, well, we're buying cocoa from you, and you know what, we'll put up a school with our logo because it's nice. You know, Kraft Food builds schools in communities. That is CSR and CSI work. Kraft Food said, we will be deliberate about how to help to empower you. And that means we will bring the best technology available to empower you. So that if you produce better, and it's for self-interest. If you produce better quality cocoa, if you produce more efficiently, more sustainably, we can get our supplies. But I'll give you one more example. The way the world is, this global village, we grow cocoa in Africa. We send it to the east to get it refined. We fly it to the west to get it melted. And we send it to the north to go and have it slabbed and packaged, and then send it back into Africa to be sold. That is carbon emission and carbon footprint. So what they've done is they've brought industry on the doorsteps of the farm. They've reduced carbon emission. That is a deliberate step. That is a step that says that besides profit, how do we impact on the community, and how do we impact on the lives of the people for the benefit of the people? It's not about your logo on a nice school or whatever it is that you do. It's genuinely about improving the lot of the people, Because through that as well, there's improvement for you. Okay? So even as you are sitting here today, whether you are running a computer firm, you will decide where's the best place to position the computer firm if you are importing it from some part of the world to reduce carbon emission. If you are doing some sort of chemical whatever, you will ask yourself deliberately, what is the environmental impact of using this chemical over that chemical? And yes, you're going to get lesser profits, but in the long run, you're not going to get dogs with two tails. Right? Genetically modified because of the air that they breathe. So, as we conclude, I want to come back to this issue of zakah. Once we as Muslims begin to understand that we can only reclaim our rightful place as moral leaders of the world, only then and only when we move beyond imitation and start providing improved and better solutions to humanity, even in your business, then only will we get back that place of high stature that we once occupied. That is why the institution of the insistence rather in the Quran that the zakah becomes an institution. Zakah is an institution that is prescribed in the Quran, Surah 9 verse 60. It's not left to your goodwill. And zakah is so unique in so many ways that it is unique even from other forms of charity within the Islamic worldview and certainly outside of the Islamic worldview. That's how unique zakah is in terms of its potentialities, which we even haven't started understanding. No other philosophy, whether inspired by God or man-made, no other institution can match the benefits of zakah. And that is why you need to support institutions such as SANZEF, because we're seeking to maximize the benefits of zakah and thereby impacting positively on the lives of the poor. Jazakallah, thank you very much. That was a 3.5-minute extra long introduction, but I appreciate your patience for this evening. Mr. Buthelezi, let me give you a formal welcome as well. Thank you very much. We'll introduce you formally a bit later, sir. Just to tell you the program for this evening, supper, maybe we should have done the check collection before supper. Okay. Supper will be after 8. So we've got about, and I haven't got my watch, so I'm assuming it's 25 to 8 now. 20 to 8. So we're going to steal 5 minutes into your supper time, but you can still have a full supper, don't worry. The next part is the awards that we are going to do, give out the awards for this evening. Maulana Hassan will come up on stage. Maulana Hassan is a BCom graduate and a Maulana, and nut that he is, he's an MBA student and is also studying something else. He's just one of those guys, I don't know where he gets the energy and the time to do all those things. But everything that he's trying to do, he is trying to say, how can he improve this business program? So Maulana Hassan, for all intents and purposes, has developed the business training program at SANZEF. I am very, very proud, not of him, of the work that has gone into producing the manual that he's done. We are, a month away from getting it registered with the CETAs. Have you heard of that before within institutions? We run computer centers. I mean, we've heard of institutions that run computer centers, am I right? But it's the old XP computers. That's not how you do charity work, people. In the 21st, 22nd, what century are we? In 2012, you don't even use computers to teach people. You get iPads to teach people. Because that's the technology that's going to apply in 2 or 3 years' time. So if you want to start moving people, and if you want to start moving this community, forget, and I got a nice quote, I picked it up somewhere. It goes something to the effect, if you do what you did, you will get what you got. If you do what you did, you will get what you got. I don't think that in 2 years' time I want to stand here and lament at the fact that we still haven't moved, because the community is still thinking the way we were thinking 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago. We need to be now and future thinking orientated if we want to make a dent in terms of this tackling the root cause of poverty, inshallah. So Maulana Hassan will come up, and what we're going to do is we're going to ask the guests of honor. There are more special guests than even the MEC or the MEC's rep, Mr. Buthelezi, you don't mind if I say that. And we're going to ask you people to please come up to the side there. All of you in the back, please come up to the side there. The way we're going to do it is Maulana Hassan is going to call them up one at a time, and in a minute or so try and give you a very short background on who they are, what they are, where they're from, what they're doing, how they're doing. Let me quickly tell you, or will you do that? Why we've selected these 10, etc., etc. Okay, so Maulana will do that in a minute or two, and we'll try not to go too long past 5 past 8, inshallah. Just bear with us until then. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.